Hello my dear friends, welcome back. Welcome to your channel Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos. Thanks a lot. So this video is going to be just for the learning purpose, and this is also the video which is a part of Money and Wealth series. Today in this video, I'm going to help you to understand the money and wealth analysis specifically for the Aries Ascendant. And don't worry if you are having some different ascendant, I'm going to make all the 12 videos. So you are also going to gain a lot of knowledge with regards to ascendant wise also regarding the money and the wealth perspective. By far, I will tell you, this is one of the most detailed video which I'm going to make over the for every ascendant, and I even request you to please watch this video till end. If you are into the field of learning Jyotish or Vedic Astrology, so this video is going to be very helpful for you. So just for taking knowledge, and I even request you, if you try to implement it in your own charts or different charts, so you can also implement the knowledge which I'm going to share with you. So the topics of today's video, first of all, we are going to discuss with regards to the 2nd, 11th and 12th house, because these are the money houses in Vedic Astrology. 5th, 7th, 9th house, how they are going to contribute into the money and wealth picture. Influence of the Rahu and Ketu axis, that part we are also going to study. Next is the Gati of planets. Now I have made one live session over the Gati. If you don't know what is Gati, Gati means the speed of the planets. So every planet like Saturn is a slow moving planet, so the speed of Saturn is a bit slow. Mercury is a very fast moving planet, Moon is also very fast moving. So how the Gati of the planets or the speed of planet is going to impact your earnings, your expenses, how fast your investments will grow, the impact it over the savings part. So that part also we are going to cover. Lastly, we will discuss regarding the retrograde combustion and timings part. So now I hope this become clear for you. This is the Aries Ascendant chart which you can look here. So in Vedic Astrology, there are total 12 houses. I made all the 12 houses, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, way up till the 12th. Don't look into the numbers which are written up there, okay? These numbers are actually zodiac signs. So first is the Aries, okay? This is Aries. Then second, it's Taurus, okay? Where Venus is posited. I've even written there like rulership as well. So first of all, let's try to understand the for Aries Ascendant, what are the first of all important houses, and we are going to discuss with regards to this topic now. 2nd, 11th and 12th house, okay? First of all, the 11th house in Vedic Astrology, this one, this is the house of your incoming gains. So whatever money that you are going to receive on monthly or daily basis, that is seen through 11th house. If you are doing a job, monthly paycheck which you are going to receive, maybe you are involved into some other business activity. So any amount of money that you are gaining on daily or monthly basis is seen through the 11th house. This is also the house which actually represents your earning potential. So whether you have the capacity to earn 100,000, 500,000, a million, 10 million, $50 million, or maybe a billion, or maybe becoming a trillionaire. So the amount of wealth which you are going to accumulate actually, that is also actually seen through 2nd house, but 11th house represents your own earning potential. Like self-sufficient, how capable you are in adding to the wealth part. This is also the house, 11th house, which represents your income sources. Now many of you want to understand whether I have the capacity to have more than one income stream in my life or not, or what kind of income sources. It may be through business, through job, through some rental income, maybe earning through stocks, government bonds, maybe gold. What kind of income sources which you are capable of generating is also seen through 11th house. So you understand this is the most important houses in order for you to actually look for money. Next is your 12th house. That is the house of your expenditure. So whatever your monthly, your daily expenses are going to be, they are seen through 12th house. And this is also the house of investments. Like if you want to see what kind of investments that are good as per your chart, so 12th house is going to give the answer. And last one is your 2nd house, this one. This is the savings account actually, where you are going to save a huge amount of money. Second house also represents the accumulated wealth which you are going to gain. So it's accumulated wealth include your family also. It's not your alone wealth actually. Okay, it's a combined wealth which you are capable of having in your life. And wealth includes many things. It's not only I'm talking about money. Wealth can be of any kind. It may be you're having different petrol pumps in your name, different construction businesses, maybe having big real estate, hotel industry business. So this is actually seen through second house. Okay. Now I hope these three houses are clear in front of you. Now whenever, first of all, I will tell you the second house lord and the 11th house lord, it means the Venus and Saturn. This is the first combination. Now, whenever the Venus and Saturn are actually conjunct in your horoscope, specifically for Aries Ascendant, okay, anywhere in the chart, this actually have the capacity to create a very good or excellent Laxmi yoga in your chart. Laxmi yoga means the wealth giving yoga is actually present in your horoscope. Okay, we'll go towards timings later on, but it means if yoga is present in the chart, it means you have the capacity for wealth accumulation into your life. Second important thing, if the savings lord Venus is actually going in the 12th house of expenditure, it means it become very, very difficult for you to save huge amount of money because your savings lord is going in the house of expense. But still, if all the three money houses are still somewhat involved in the chart, this have the capacity to give you wealth. So the first combination is the Venus and Saturn. Now, even for example, if Venus and Saturn, for example, is conjunct in the money houses, suppose I remove Saturn from here, and if Venus and Saturn are up there, now this is again a very great combination. If the yoga formed by the second and 11th house lord itself in the second or in the 11th house, this is a very first great Lakshmi combination. Second important thing, if for example your savings lord, that is Venus, if it is in conjunction with Jupiter also, that is also very good investment related yoga in your chart. It means then rather than focusing over saving money most of the time, you need to focus upon the investment part because your chart is actually entirely focusing more towards the investment areas. Apart from this, if these three houses lords are also conjunct in the horoscope, that is also a Lakshmi yoga. Now it doesn't matter whether you are going to gain money or lose money, but transactions are going to be happening on the consistent basis in this particular case. So you will never ever going to face any liquidity problem into your life. Even the big yoga, I told you, the biggest yoga is created by the conjunction of the 11th and the second house. Now, if this Venus and Saturn is suppose not posited here, it's posited anywhere else in the chart. Suppose here, still this is a yoga, but its strength is getting little bit reduced. Because the maximum points are given to the RajYoga if itself that yoga is formed in the money and wealth houses. Second point we can give if it is forming in the quadrant houses, 1st, 4th, 7th and 10th, and even the trine houses. Suppose Venus and Saturn are up there. Okay, this is the second most powerful. Then its strength is getting reduced if it is actually going in 8th house, maybe the 6th or even maybe in the 12th house. So little bit the strength is getting reduced. So you need to study this part first of all, where these houses are going actually, or where your Venus, Saturn and Jupiter are posited, because they are actually going to symbolize everything regarding the money and wealth part. Second important point I'm going to discuss with you is the 5th house, 7th house and 9th house. Now why these houses are important? This is the 5th house, this is the 7th house and this is the 9th house. First of all, 5th and 9th comes under the trine houses. I've already explained a theory over the trines in my many different videos. You can go and watch the videos over trines actually. See, it's in the 5th house. So there are different videos. You will be able to understand this house. Now 5th house is actually naturally considered as a house of prosperity. Many a times yogas created by 5th house are actually going to manifest after having a child. Similarly, 7th house is the house of your marriage and the marital life aspect. So if you want to see whether my spouse or life partner is going to bring certain wealth into my life or not, that is in through 7th house. And 9th house is the bhagya, mean fortune or the luck factor. So there is going to be a great amount of luck involved in the attainment of wealth actually. Hard work will not help you to gain a lot of money because there are many hardworking people. So these are the supporting houses to the upper houses. You can just understand in the simpler manner. Like they are supporting these 5th, 7th and 9th, they are acting as a supporting structure to the above 3 houses. Okay. Now if the yoga is even formed between these houses and these houses, this is still considered as a very good Laxmi yoga for you. For example, suppose this is Venus and 9th house lord is still Jupiter actually. This is also Venus. Now this is a sun actually. This is ruled by planet sun, the sign of Leo. Now if sun is in conjunction with Saturn also in this chart, this is again a Laxmi yoga. Although sun and Saturn are brutal enemies, they don't like each other, but still it's considered as a yoga because your trine house is connected with the 11th house lord. So these are the second step RajYogas. First one I told you, it's the upper houses. If sun is forming conjunction with the Venus, is also going to be considered as a Laxmi yoga, but up to very less extent. Like it's not a very big bulky, but still the wealth is present up there. Suppose these houses or these 3 planets, they are shuffling in each other houses. For example, Venus and Saturn, suppose they go up there. Still this is a Laxmi yoga. Suppose Venus is going with Saturn, Jupiter is also suppose coming up there. That is also going to be considered as a yoga. So this is the second. These are the foundational pillars actually. One more thing I would like to add on here. If these 2 houses lords are conjunct here, this is your 9th house. I told you 9th house is very important. It's your bhagya, fortune. And 11th house is the house of incoming gains. So if in this chart, if Jupiter and Saturn, if they are in these 2 houses, this is again a very strong RajYoga or Laxmi yoga. Because here the support of bhagya or the fortune is supporting you in the attainment of money into your life. Have you seen many individuals, they are doing a 9 to 5 job. If you are working here, if you are working up there, or 2 different freshers, maybe they are going to join the same organization. So one is having more money, still they are working at the same level. So it means some support or some contribution of the 9th house lord is going to be there. Without this house supporting these houses, it's very difficult for you to actually create something big. Next is the Rahu and Ketu axis. Now the involvement of Rahu and Ketu is also going to play a very important role in order to actually exaggerate wealth. Suppose in this Venus Saturn I add Rahu also. So as soon as with previous houses lords or with their conjunctions, Rahu is adding more force into the Laxmi yoga. Because Rahu is the planet of sudden expansion and sudden growth. Few individuals, they have the capacity to grow more rapidly. Suddenly, they are going to receive some huge amount of wealth. So that suddenness in the wealth or Laxmi yogas are contributed by Rahu. Without Rahu, even for example, in this chart, Saturn, this is 11th house Lord Saturn. If it is with not Jupiter, if it is with Rahu, that is also very strong combination actually. Very strong. If this is Jupiter, Jupiter is with Rahu in the sign of even Sagittarius. This is again a very strong yoga. Even if Sun, if it is with Rahu in this house, it's still a very powerful yoga. So you understand how the Rahu is going to influence over these RajYogas. On the other hand, if Ketu is involved, Ketu also have the capacity to create wealth giving yogas, but only in few extent. Now, what are that few exceptions? Suppose in this 7th house, here the sign of Libra. Suppose Venus is up there. Now let me add the factor of Ketu. So Venus and Ketu is actually a very big yoga. It's more than even Venus and Rahu also. So if for Aries Ascendant, Venus, that is your money lord, that is your 7th house lord, is in conjunction with Ketu or even Rahu, this is going to multiply your wealth. You can just understand Rahu and Ketu as a multiplication factor, like they are multiplying your wealth. Suppose you are earning 100,000, maybe 10 lakh rupee a month. So that is actually multiplying that 10 times more, this Rahu and Ketu axis. They are creating, adding value into these yogas. Even if this, suppose this is Saturn and Rahu, even if it is Saturn and Ketu in this case, still this is going to be a great Raj Yoga. It's also very important for these 3 points which I'm telling you. The yogas created by these planets, first of all, initially need to be forming in these houses. Because these are the pillars actually. They are very important houses when it comes to money. If there is no planet in these houses in your chart, it shows certain difficulties are going to be there. Okay. Then if there is no planets up there, your maximum planets in some other houses, then pay attention towards the Upachya Stan, that is the 3rd house, 6th, 10th and 11th. Even for example, I am not discussing these houses, but I will give you one example. Suppose this is the 10th house. Here Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu. 4 planets are conjunct up there. Now this is here, although the Jupiter is debilitated, but still this is also going to be considered as a very big Raj Yoga because it's forming in the quadrant houses. Now you understand these 3 points clearly, the yogas which are actually created by these 3 points. Now let me come to the Gati of planets. Gati of planets mean the speed of grahas. Now how Gati or the speed of planets are actually going to impact you in making money? If you want to study, now it depends from ascendant to ascendant also, okay? Few planets, they are very fast moving and few planets are slow moving. Now I will note down here actually. Let me use some different color pen here. Maybe I can use blue now. In order for you to understand the Gati, first of all, you need to be familiar with the concept of speed of grahas. What is Mand Gati, what is Shigar Gati, although these are Hindi abbreviations, Hindi words which I am using now. But I have made video live session over the Gati of grahas. Go and watch that video. Otherwise, very difficult for you to understand or grab the concept of Gati. Okay. And I believe rarely any person have discussed Gati with money and wealth over the YouTube. I don't know, but still I'm going to help you to understand. Now Gati is the speed of planets. Now there are few planets like suppose Saturn, Saturn, Rahu and Jupiter. Saturn stays in one zodiac sign from 2.5 to 3 years approximately. Rahu in 1.5 and Jupiter approximately 1 year. So these are actually considered as a slow moving grahas. Whereas on the other hand, planets like Moon, Mercury, Venus, even Mars, so they are little bit fast moving grahas in Vedic astrology. Now for Aries Ascendant, Saturn is a slow moving planet first of all. Jupiter is also a slow moving first of all. On the other hand, Venus is a very fast moving planet. Now if you be able to understand my point here, speed I told you what is slow moving now. This is a slow moving, again slow moving, whereas this Venus is actually a fast moving. So the Laxmi yogas which are created by Venus in the Aries Ascendant chart have the capacity to give you money and wealth on the quick basis, on sudden basis. In case of emergency, you are going to have funds within you. Whereas the wealth given by Jupiter and Saturn is going to be over the slow basis. Like it is going to take some amount of time for you to build considerable wealth into your life. Now it differs from ascendant to ascendant. For Taurus, for Capricorn, the results are going to be totally different. But in case if you are more interested in making money on the fast basis, you need to pay attention towards the Venus. Now the second miracle which is happening up there, Venus is also gaining control over this house. 7th house actually, okay. Now 7th house is the house of your spouse or life partner. It means the event of marriage for Aries Ascendant people have the capacity to give you wealth with more and more speed. I have even discussed the combinations of Venus with other planets. Venus, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Venus, maybe Rahu, Venus, Ketu. So if Venus with any of these planets and Venus is creating the RajYoga, it's going to be a very quick. So the fructification of the yoga is going to be very fast in case of Venus. Here you can also see the speed is connected with your earnings, expense, investment and savings actually. Earning is this house. Now this is actually ruled by Saturn. It means naturally for Aries Ascendant, earning process is going to be a bit slower as compared to some other ascendant. The reason why, because Shani is gaining control over the 11th house. This is also going to be a very time consuming process for you to build multiple income sources. Whereas for some other ascendant, if the number 3 Gemini is written over there, it's ruled by Mercury. And on the other hand, if for example for Aries Ascendant, Saturn is strong, and for maybe 3, 4, 5 for Leo Ascendant, if the Gemini is becoming very strong, so that Leo Ascendant is going to make money more on the rapid basis as compared to Aries Ascendant. Still their 11th house lords are very strong actually, but still the difference is going to be there because you are destined actually. Now these are the Drid karmas in Vedic astrology, fixed karma. There is a complete roadmap of wealth which we bring into this life, which we can help or decode with the help of Vedic astrology. Drid karma is only actually the fixed amount of karmas which are connected with everyone. It's also connected with your second house. Second house, I told you, it's your family wealth. So if you want to see whether you are going to be born into some sort of a very abundant kind of a household or a very poor household, it totally depends over the second house because that is the house of your family. Now it's not possible, it's not in your hand to choose your family. Like it's not possible for you to whether choose I'm going to take birth in maybe rich family or in poor family. It's not in your hand. So these are Drid karma. Drid mean fixed. Now you cannot change certain aspects of the life. Similarly, this is that the Drid karma for Aries Ascendant. If Saturn is ruling your 11th house, speed is going to be a bit slow actually. But on the other hand, speed is going to be very fast in the savings part. If you people try to use the energy of Venus into your own favor, now how you are going to use planetary energies in your favor is actually depending over the activation part. Activation techniques, I have also discussed that in my playlist over the activation of 9 houses. You can go watch that. If you will be able to activate Venus in this horoscope, then you have the capacity to solve most of the money problems here. Expense is ruled by Jupiter. Now Jupiter is a planet, it's a big planet, okay? It will going to take near about 1 year. So your expenses are also going to be having huge impact up there because it's Jupiter. Now it also differs whether your Jupiter is in conjunction with this house or this house lord. Predictions are going to differ, but you need to understand the Mool's Swabhav or the core character of for Aries Ascendant. Their expense is going to be flowing out because of Jupiter. Jupiter is also a pious planet actually. It's a very positive graha. So most of the expenses that are going to be going out is because of this Jupiter. Now your expenses are also going to be huge. It's not going to be small up there because it's a huge planet. Although if Jupiter in this case is in conjunction with Saturn and then they are posited in the 12th house, results are going to differ in Vedic astrology. Predictions are not as easy as you think in making Vedic astrology because there are many different tools which we can use regarding the Hora chart for looking the proper wealth angle. So there are different tools. I don't want to discuss anything here. I just want you to understand using the D1 chart. Okay. Otherwise, it's going to become very complicated for you to understand. So this is the expense. Next is the investment. Now, Jupiter related investments are going to be good for you if this planet is very strong. Now, if Jupiter is with Saturn, crude oil is also very best. If Jupiter is individually more powerful, gold is more, GOLD, gold is going to be very good. So in this way, you can actually study this part. Once again, I repeat, this is a video which I'm making it from educational purposes here, okay? So that at least you can learn the Siddhant of Jyotish. Next is the savings part, that is totally dependent over your Venus. Now, if this Aries Ascendant, if your Venus is suppose retrograde, combust, this retrograde, combust. Now, the combustion and the retrogression is another concept, because it's very, very difficult for you to find the planets that are normally posited. Okay, most of the charts, they are going to have certain complications inside these planets. Maybe for them, somewhere some Venus is retrograde, maybe Saturn is retrograde with retrograde Rahu, Jupiter might be combust or Venus is combust. So then how you are going to study it? Now, first of all, with this retrogression and combustion part, you need to keep important steps, which I'm going to tell you honestly here. First of all, with the retrograde energy, it's like commitment of similar kind of mistakes again and again and again. If this Venus is retrograde, I'm using star here, Venus, and I'm putting star. So star shows a retrogression. If suppose the Venus is retrograde into you people, it shows the back and forth motion. It means you are actually going to commit a lot of financial mistakes. Even if it is with Saturn, if it is with Jupiter, retrograde energy is going to commit a lot of financial mistakes actually. Now, it's not stopping you to reach the 100% wealth potential. Retrograde energies are not actually stopping you, okay? They are giving you permission, but it's like a potential energy which is in the holded form. It's not directly converted into the form of kinetic energy. So you can understand this part. With the retrogression energy, knowledge is more important. I will even write in front of this retrograde is the knowledge actually. Gaining knowledge. Failure of you to gain knowledge will help you to actually create a devastation with the help of retrograde planets. And knowledge of what kind actually? It's the financial knowledge I'm talking about. Maybe some deep-rooted negative thoughts with regards to money is already wandering in your mind by watching this video. Maybe I'm going to lose wealth tomorrow. What is going to happen next in the market? Retrograde is actually going to increase that part, because it's a potential, it's a hoarded form of wealth. You can just consider it. The energy is not flowing actually. It's actually stoppage up there. If the retrograde is up there, stoppage means you need to commit a lot of mistakes. If other person is committing 5 mistakes, person with retrograde energy need to commit 10 mistakes in order to achieve the same results in their life. So knowledge is the key with the retrogression here. Next is the combust planets. Now, combustion of the planets, specifically if Mercury, Venus, these planets are combust, they are not going to lose its core significance. So don't think like that if my Venus is combust in the chart and now I'm not be able to make or save money in my life. It's not like that. Mool Sabhav of the grahas are not actually getting destroyed. Combust doesn't mean ki the planet is getting actually burnt away. It's not burning away. The significance of the combustion of the planet still exists. Combustion is going to impact Jupiter and Saturn because they are slow. I've erased it. These are slow moving planets. Most of the time, 80-90% of the charts, you will check the fast moving planets, Venus and Mercury. They are going to be combust in most of the charts because they are in very close proximity with the sun. So it's not like that combustion is going to lose its significance. Keep that point in your mind. If the planet is combust, the significance is still going to be there, but it may be some other way around. Maybe you are using this strategy. You need to use this strategy. So you need to just reverse the phenomena in case of the combust planets. Last part is the timings for attainment of wealth for Aries Ascendant. Now, timings is also very detailed subject. For timings, you need to have basic understandings of Vimshotri Mahadasha. I will write it here actually, Dasha. D-A-S-H-A, Dasha. Dasha is very, very important. I'm extremely sorry for my poor handwriting. My handwriting is not very good actually, but Dasha is very important. Without having the Dasha of these planets, or if these planets are actually coming in Antardashas, this have the capacity, or it show you the wealth unlocking potential is coming. Even if you want to see the timings of job into your life, because if you are gaining job, you are going to gain money again. One event is connected with the other event. Even if you want to understand the timings of marriage, timings of obtaining a children into your life, timings of maybe foreign travel, timings of maybe 9th house, that is your spiritual travels, any long distance journey, visa related issues, visa problem, any timings for Aries Ascendant. If you want to confirm, the very first phenomena which I'm telling you is the gochar of the planets, transit of the planets upon their own zodiac signs. If in your case Saturn is transiting over the natal Saturn, Jupiter transiting over the natal Jupiter, wherever it is posited, I'm just giving you example. It may be your Jupiter and Saturn is up there. So whenever the transit of Jupiter is happening and then this is getting over this Jupiter, Saturn transit getting over this Saturn, this indicate the triggering of event. Similarly, if Venus suppose up there, Venus in Capricorn, it's with Rahu. So whenever Rahu goes into the sign of Capricorn, your Venus goes into the sign of Capricorn, this gochar of the planets have the capacity to show like, okay, some activation is happening, some timings are going to be near about during that time frame. But in order for you to put a confirmation mark, if the gochar of the Jupiter and Saturn through my 7th house have the capacity to unlock the event of marriage or unlock the wealth making potential, you need to pay attention towards the Dasha. And I'm not only talking about Vimshotri Dasha, the key is Antardasha. It's A-N-T-A-R, Antardasha. Antardasha is the sub-period. Antardasha, most of the time, if you are a beginner in astrology and if you just want to learn the predictive astrology, timings actually, so the Antardasha, if you will be able to start combining Antardasha with the gochar, you will be able to learn mastery over the predictive astrology as well. Now, the reason why I'm actually using this Vimshotri Mahadasha here, because this is applicable to near about 90% of the charts. In certain cases, there are some different set of dashas which will apply. It may be certain charts having Udu Dasha, certain charts having Dvisaptiti Samdasha, or maybe sometimes some other dashas are happening up there. But 90% of the time, Vimshotri Mahadasha will help you into the predictability part. So in this way, for Aries Ascendant, you can actually study the roadmap of the money and wealth in your horoscope. Okay. I hope you have gained some insights in this video with me. Okay. If you have find even a small knowledge, you can please send me super thanks to this video as well, because any contribution from your side will eventually motivate me to make more such videos over the YouTube platform. And please mention below the comments also whether you like my method of teaching. If any sort of improvement you want to see, you do let me know. Any improvement, maybe in communication style, maybe if you will not be able to see something, so do let me know, mention below in the comments part. Also for consultations, detailed Vedic astrology consultations regarding marriage, career, full chart, you can please contact me at my email ID. And I will try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Although with increasing customer demands, the waiting period is a bit longer, but still I will try my best to compensate my time with you. You can also follow me on Instagram as well here. is the link, and please watch the Money and Wealth series. This is the first video, and rest 12 videos are going to be coming very, very soon. So till then, please take care of yourself, and may Lord Jagannath bless you. Hare Krishna.